do about nothing. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. There is absolutely no photography or videography during the show. Exits are located at the front and rear of the auditorium. This performance will feature a 15-minute intermission. Please remember, masks are required for all audience members. Enjoy the show!
I learn in this letter that Don Peter of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very nearby this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
Victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Peter hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, so much joy that joy cannot show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath holp to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed by one. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonardo, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost. And you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict. No, for then you were a child.
Well, if Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die? Will she have such meat food to feed it as Senor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape her predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, I God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I dare swear he's no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lady. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Say, Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple, true judgment, or will you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, i' faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, in a case to put it into.
In mine eyes, she's the sweetest lady that I've ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband.
Have you? I would scarce trust myself. Though I'd swear the contrary if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held thee hither you followed not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troth, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks, but that I will have a reed sheet winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, if thou dost ever fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me.
Well, as time shall try in time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck it off the bull's horns, and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, as in such great letters, as they write, Here is good horse to hire. Let them signify, under my sign, Here you may see Benedict, the married man.
In the meantime, good signor, repair to Leonardo's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper. For indeed he had made great preparation.
Examine your conscience. And so, I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach it but how? Thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Has Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She is his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but it had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I have returned, and the war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting how fair young Hero is, saying that I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be a lover presently, and tire the hero with the book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it.
How sweetly you do minister love. The nose loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is a necessity. Look what will serve as fit, 'tis once thou lovedst, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force, and strong encounter on my amorous tale. Then after, to her father will I break. And the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of a stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He's very busy about it. But brother, I can tell you strange news they yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio were thus much overheard by me. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loves my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night at a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Oh, I cry you mercy, my friend. Go you with me. I'll use your skill.
What the good year, my liege? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend to no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in the hedge than a rose in his grace. Though it cannot be said that I am a flattering, honest woman, it cannot be denied but I am a plain-dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. Now in the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper, and the prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it's your brother's right hand.
Who? The most proper Claudio.
Even he?
A proper squire. And what way looks he?
A hero, daughter and heir of Leonardo.
How came you to this?
Well, being entertained for a perfumer, I was smoking a musty room when came to me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and, having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
Oh, to the death, my liege.
Dame Joan here at supper?
I saw her not.
How tartly that lady looks. I never can see her, but I am heartburned an hour after.
She is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between her and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Well then, half Signor Benedick's tongue in Dame Joan's mouth, and half Dame Joan's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse. Such a man would win any woman in the world, if it could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou will never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel, and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bear ward, and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell?
No. But to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here is no place for you maids. So, deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I hope you'll be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say father as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow. Or else make another curtsy and say father as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you fitted one day with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with the pierce of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle. Oh, none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
We walk there with your friend.
So, you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor.
Speak low. You speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Oh, I love thee the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could not do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand up and down. You are he. You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to. Mum, you are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No. You shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I. Believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. And the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them. And then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. Why would he have boarded me?
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
And that is Claudio I know by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. He may do the job of an honest man in it.
How know you that he loves her?
Oh, I heard him swear his affections.
Yea, and so did I too, and they swore they'd marry tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. So let all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
But, Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? Well, you must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me!
No! Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it shall not be, I'll leave you.
Alas. Poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool. Eh? It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yea. But so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Ah, now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady.
The Lady Beatrice had the quarrel too. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh. She misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I'd been myself, that I was the prince's jester. That I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. For certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. And so, indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. Fetch you a hair off the great Sham's beard. Do you any embassies to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words harpy? Well, you have no employment for me.
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir. Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady, you have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
Now then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
I faith that I think your oblation to be true. Though all be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed, and thy name in fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and in grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfect herald of joy. I would be but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or, if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
Oh, in faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho for a husband.
I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech thy grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of caution you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but for when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I have heard my daughter say, she hath often dreamed of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means, my lord, she mocks all her wooers out of suit.
Ah, sure, an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when you mean to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches until love can have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is a hence just 7 night, and a time too brief too to have all things answer in my mind.
Come. You shake the head at so longer breathing. But I warn thee, Claudio, time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection the one with the other. I would fain have an imagine, I doubt not, but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance, as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
Oh, I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far I can praise him. He is of noble strain, approved, valor confirmed, honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin so she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any impediment, any cross will be medicinal to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and, well, whatsoever comes athwart, his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship, okay, I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in favor of Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up to a contaminated stale. Such a one as Hero.
But what proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meat hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio as in love of your brother's honor who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus likely to be cozened by the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial, so offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Baratio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. And in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent. And in this there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance and the preparation overthrown. Sorry.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Hey! Be cunning in working this, and my fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be confident in your accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn the day of marriage.
Boy,
Senor?
in my chamber window lies a book. Come, bring it hither to me in the orchard.
But I'm here already, sir.
I know that. But I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I've known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But one woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be. That's certain. Wise or I'll none. Virtuous or I'll never cheapen her. Fair or I'll never look on her. Mild or come not near me. Noble or not I for an angel. Of good discourse. An excellent musician. And her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come. Shall we hear this music?
Yea, my lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
see where Benedict hath hid himself?
Very well, my lord.
Ah, come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Stalk on, stalk on. The foul. Sit. I did never think that that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit! There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did, indeed.
How? How? Pray you. You amaze me. I would have I thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull. But that the Honorable Leonardo speaks it.
He hath taken the injection. Hold it up.
Affection known to Benedict?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. For your daughter says, "Shall I," says she, "that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?"
This says she when she's beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict! God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other she should not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
She is an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise?
And everything but in loving Benedict.
Hero says she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die if he woo her, and she will die ere she make her love known, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God! And, in my mind, very wise.
He doth show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, as Hector, I assure you. Well, I'm sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
No, never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord? Will you walk? Dinner is ready.
he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same that spread for her, and that your daughter and her gentleman will carry. The sport will be when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene I would see. Let us enter to call him a dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why? It must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. The happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her! I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? So a man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from their career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice. Oh, by this day, she's a fair lady. Oh, I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea. Just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. But that's as much to say, any pains for those thanks that I take for you is as easy as thanks. I will go get her picture.
good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come. I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this garden up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close by the ground to hear our conference. No, truly, Ursula, she's too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new-trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them. If they love Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortune abed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She's so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backwards. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchase it.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should do it, she would mock me into thin air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. Be better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion, and truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of New York. Always expected, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through New York.
Oh, indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
Excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's lined. I warrant you we have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell. And maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till our marriage be consummate. Then after go I to Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I only be bold of Benedict for his company, for from the crown on his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. He hath the heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue's a clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Oh, hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw.
Hang it! You must hang it first and then draw it afterwards.
Oh, what sigh for the toothache.
Well, every man can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love. Ooh. If he be not in love with some woman, then there is no believing old signs.
No. Oh. Hath any man seen him at the tailor?
No, but the tailor hath been seen with him.
Indeed, he looks sharper than he did by the addition of a tie.
Ah, nay, rubs a kiver with him. Can you smell him out by that?
Ah, that's as much to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of this is melancholy. That indeed tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude he is in love.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak with you, in which these hobby horses must not hear.
My life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, so the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Ah, good den, sister.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you, discover it.
You may think I love you not. Yeah. Let that appear hereafter and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has too long been a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonardo's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warned, but go with me tonight. There you shall see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will go with me, I will show you enough, and when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not wed tomorrow, there in the congregation I will shame her.
And, as I wooed thee to obtain her, I will join thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
How they outwardly turned.
Mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague right well prevented. So you shall say when you have seen the sequel.
accidentally in love, 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 accidentally I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, accidentally I'm in love, 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 accidentally. Come on, hold me in a little tighter. Come on, and the world's a little brighter. Come on, just get yourself inside her love. I'm in love. Baby, I'm amazed the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you. Baby, I'm amazed the way you pulled me out of time. You hung me on the line. Maybe I'm amazed the way I really need you. Maybe I'm a man, maybe I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something that he doesn't really understand. Maybe I'm a man, and maybe you're the only woman who can ever help me. Maybe won't you help me to understand? Maybe I'm a man, maybe I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something that he doesn't really understand. Maybe I'm a man, or maybe you're the only woman who can ever help me. Maybe won't you help me to understand? Maybe I'm amazed the way you with me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I leave you. Maybe I'm amazed the way you help me sing the song, right me when I'm wrong. Maybe I'm amazed the way I really need you.
Are you good officers? And true?
Yea. Or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Oh, nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, then give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless officer to be constable?
Sewer kick, ma'am, or Georgia Sequel, for we can write and read.
Oh, come hither, neighbor Seco. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored woman is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
both which Master Constable...
You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit woman for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if it will not stand?
Why, then take no note of him, but let him go. And then presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of such a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
Oh, true. And they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like a most quiet and ancient watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping shall offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why, then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not, then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, ma'am.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Oh, truly, by your office you may, but I think that the touch pitch shall be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful woman, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him. Well, officers, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. And good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
Ooh, one word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonardo's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil there tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
Conrad. Oh my God, Conrad, I say.
Here, man.
Follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now, forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close and under this penthouse for a drizzle of rain, and then, like a true drunkard, I'll utter all to thee. Therefore know I have earned of Dame Joan 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so deep?
Not so neat. Know that I am a knight, great lady, gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress's chamber window and hits me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, all planted, placed, and possessed by my master Dame Joan, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero?
Well, 2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by her oaths which did first possess them, and partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander that Dame Joan had made. Away went Claudio enraged and swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, in front of the whole congregation, shame her with what he had saw her, and I'd send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand!
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
Mistresses!
Never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
You're like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up in these women's bills.
A commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise,
I will, lady.
and bid her come hither.
Well, troth, I think your other rabbito were better.
No, prithee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
Your gown's a most rare fashion in faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, is but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloths of gold and cuts, and laced with silver set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirt, round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 of it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
It will be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? 'Tis not marriage honorable in a beggar. 'Tis not your lord honorable without marriage. Oh, ask my lady Beatrice. Here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in a sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. Ay, my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk? A horse? Or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H.
God, send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me. They are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maiden stuffed! There's goodly catching cold.
Oh, God help me! God help me! How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it. Does not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this. Distilled Cardius Benedictus lay to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus! Why, Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I'm a plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by our lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I were to think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you would be in love, or that you can be in love.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Dame Joan, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good coz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Oh, marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a very busy time with me.
Oh, marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Good Lady Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old lady, sir, and her wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were, but in faith, as honest as the skin between her brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any woman living. That is, an old woman, and no honester than I.
Oh, comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis. For I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any person in the city. And though I be but a poor lady, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary. Sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, had taken a couple of errant knaves, as any in Messina.
A good old lady, sir. She will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, I faith, neighbor Vergis. Well, God's a good man, and 2 ladies ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, I faith, sir. By my troth she is, as ever broke bread, but God is to be worshipped. All ladies are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Frances Seco. Bid her bring her horn and ink pen to the gal. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to Noncombe. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication, and meet me at the jail.
You come hither, my lord. You come to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, sister. You come to marry her.
Lady, you come to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment as to why you all shall not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Stand thee by, sister. Father, do you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give me her.
And what have I to give you, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing. Unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There. Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Oh, behold how like a maid she blushes here. What authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat
I
of
know
her...
what you would say.
If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large. But as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise
Out
to you?
on thee! Seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me now as Diane in her orb, as chaste as the bud ere to be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak you not?
I stand dishonored that I have gone to link about my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
Let me move but one question to your daughter. And by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee, do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
Make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
So can Hero. Hero herself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he? That talked with you yesternight betwixt 12 and 1? Now if you are a maid, answer to this.
I spoke with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why? Then are you no maiden? Leonardo, I'm sorry, you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my sister, and this grief count did see her, hear her at that hour last I talk, with the ruffian at her chambered window, who hath indeed most like a liberal villain confessed to the vile encounters they've had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. And thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero. What a hero hast thou been. If only half of thy outward graces had been placed upon the thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well. Most foul, most fair. Farewell. Thou pure impiety and most impious purity. For thee I will lock up all gates of love, and upon my eyelid shall conjecture hang. Turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man staggered here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, Uncle! Hero! Why, Hero! Uncle! Senor Benedict! Sister!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Oh, now, Cousin Hero.
Have comfort, my lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is written in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames. Myself would, on the reward of reproaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chide I for that at frugal nature's frame. Oh, one was too much by thee. Why had I one? Why wast thou ever lovely in mine eyes? Why? Oh. She is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, that which may season give to her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although, until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Confirmed. Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the prince and his sister lie? And Claudio lie that loved her so that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears. Hence, from her, let her die.
Hear me little. For I have been silent for so long to give way unto the course of fortune. By noting of this lady have I marked 1,000 blushing apparitions, 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness to beat away those blushes. And in her eyes hath appeared a fire to burn away these airs the princes hold against her maiden truth.
Sister, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation. A sin of perjury, she denies it not. Why seekest thou then to cover that which would appears in proper nakedness?
My lady, to what man is it that you were accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more than any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy.
There is some misprision in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdom is being misled in this, the practice of it lives in the evil of Dame Joan, whose spirits toil in frames of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands will tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Hear me a little. Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter, the princess, hath left for dead, so let her while be secretly kept in, and publish that she is indeed dead. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monuments hang mournful epitaphs. Do all rites that appertain unto burial.
What will become of this? What shall this do?
Mary, this well carriage shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying, as it so must be maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be pitied, lamented, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out, we prize, not to the worth while we's enjoyed it, but by being lacked and lost, why then we rack value. Then we see the virtue of our possession would not show it while it was ours. So it will fare with Claudio, more moving and delicate and full of life, into the eyes and prospects of the soul, than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn if love ever had interest in his liver, and wished he had not so accused her. And if this all be levelled false, the suspicion of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sorts not well, you may conceal her, as it best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, outside of all eyes, minds, tongues, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the good sister advise you. And though you know my inwardness and loves very much unto the Prince and Claudio, I will deal with this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
Consented. Presently away. For strange sores as they strangely strain the cure. Come, lady. This wedding day is but prolonged. We have patience and we endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way. But no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office. But not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I loved nothing so well as you. But believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest, I love thee.
I thank God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you. With so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come. Bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Well, tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain, that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands. And then, with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor! Oh, God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace!
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out of a window! A proper saying.
Hey, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero. She is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties! Oh, that I were a man for his sake! Or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only does a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough, I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell.
Has our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Oh, Mary, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain.
For we have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray, write down Baraccio. Yours, Sirrah.
I'm a gentleman, ma'am, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, ma'am, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go by near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, ma'am, we say we are none.
A marvelous, witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you, hither, Sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought that you are false knaves.
Oh! Ma'am, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Officers, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Dame Joan, the prince's sister, was a villain.
Write down Dame Joan a villain. Why? This is flat perjury, to call a prince's sister villain.
Well, Master Constable...
Oh, pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise you.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Dame Joan for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
A flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou shalt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Dame Joan is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I shall go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands
Off,
of...
coxcomb!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them. Thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass. You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But, masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon by good witness. I am a wise fellow. And which is more, an officer? And which is more, a householder? And which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina? And one that knows the law, go to. And a rich fellow, enough, go to. And one that hath had losses. And one that hath had 2 gowns. and everything beautiful about her. Come, bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis thy wisdom thus the second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel which falls unto mine ears as profitless as water unto a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of hers is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience? No, 'tis all men's office to speak of patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel, my griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me that Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince and his sister and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste? Oh, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? All is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with this good old man.
If he can right himself with quarreling, some of us will lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler. Nay, do not challenge me, young man. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my stance, if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, I meant nothing towards thee.
Tush, man. Never fleer nor jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. Thou hast so wronged my child, and I, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to a trial of man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies, buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save of this hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy.
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I will prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustliness.
Away! We will not have to do with you. Come on.
Canst thou so daft me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou shalt kill me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us and men indeed. But that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come follow me, boy. Come, sir, boy, come follow me. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains.
But brother Antony.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Both! We will not wait your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but upon mine honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord. My lord.
I will not hear you.
No? Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Senor. You almost come to part almost a fray.
We had the likes to have our two noses snapped off with two old men without teeth.
Leonardo and his brother. What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee. For we're high-proof melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did it so. But many have been beside their wit. I bid thee, draw. As we do the minstrels. Draw. To pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry? By this lie he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he sure knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear? You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your sister is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
Benedict. Benedict.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And have challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Did he not say my sister was fled?
Here come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked too.
How now, two of my sisters men bound Braccio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
Who have you offended, masters? You are thus bound to your answer. This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who, in the night, overheard me confessing to this man how Dame Joan, your sister, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you have disgraced her when you should marry her. It is my villainy they have upon record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon my master's false accusations. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
And not this speech like I do your blood.
I have drunk poison while he utters it.
Did my sister set thee all to this?
Yea, sir, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
She is composed and framed of treachery, and fled she is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. Oh, and masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato, and the too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes.
Look upon me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No. No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose on me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you, my daughter, live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead. She alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming, for tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your sister.
No, sir, she was not, nor knew what she was doing when she spoke to me. In all things have been just and virtuous, in all things I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black. This plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. For God's sake, pray you, examine him upon that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, my lords, fare you well.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
You could say I lost my faith in science and progress.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well in my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me! Why shall I always keep below stairs?
I pray thee, call Beatrice. Beatrice. The God of love that sits above and knows me and knows me. Ooh. How pitiful I deserve. Yes. No. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of panders, and a whole bookful of these quondam carpet mangers whose names yet run smoothly in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can make out no rhyme to lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn. Ha ha. A hard rhyme. For school, fool. A babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo under these festival terms. Sweet Beatrice! Wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Very well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted a word out of his right sense. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintained so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There I will leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle yonder's old coil at home. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Dame Joan the author of all, who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's. Go, 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 go.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down.
Are all things ready?
Yea, my lord. Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame, which never dies. So that the life that died in shame lives in death in glorious fame. Although my words can attempt to mend, I can never requite my wife, my friend.
Come. Let us hence put on other reeds, and then to Leonardo's we will go.
And I'm in now with luckier issue speeds, and for this, whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I tell you not she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother? You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Sister, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Senor Leonardo, truth it is, good senor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from the prince and Claudio, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your good will. May stand with ours, this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good sister, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
With my help. Here come the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined to today marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth, brother. Here's the sister ready.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she. And I do give you her.
Then she is mine. Sweet, let me see her face.
No, that you shall not until you take her hand before this sister and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy sister, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but while her slander lived.
And all this amazement I can qualify. After the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death, but let wonder seem familiar to the chapel that is presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Why then, my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived. For they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure that you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her, for here is a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own reign, fashioned to Beatrice.
Oh, and here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou benedict a married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flouted me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin. Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married.
Dancing afterwards.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your sister Joan is taken in flight and brought with our men back to Messina.
Think not on her till tomorrow. I'll devise thee some brave punishments for her. Strike up, pipers!